What's up, YouTube? We're back on the SC, and today we're going to be starting the drag week preparations. So I'm going to take you on a quick tour of the car and show you what's been going on, show you what the plan is for what's coming up. Let's get to it. All right, we'll start with the most obvious change, or I should say, we'll start with the biggest change. That is, I finally have a roll cage in the car. So before we show the cage, all this is a nightmare. Here is the stock steering column, which is just sitting there for right now. It was a lot easier to be able to move the car around with that in place, so it's sitting there. Obviously, that's all going to get cleaned up as best as we can, but the main thing is the roll cage. So this is a Rhodes race car 10-point cage that I had installed by Neil Becker at Ultimate Chassis, and he also did the seat mount for me, which we'll talk about in a second. And then it's kind of hard to see from this side, but we'll go to the other side. And there's a Motion Raceworks steering column kit with the quick release, MPI wheel, quarter max racing steering wheel extension, so give me more room to get in and out of the car. But cage turned out really good, considering what he was working with. If anybody wanted to do this kit, don't expect it to fit this tight. You can see he put bends in pretty much every single tube to try and get as much room as possible. He had to open up the main hoop. He put kicks in the door bars. He bent the A-pillar bars. He had to get a little creative with the harness bar in the back. So it was a lot of work. It was more work than anybody thought. But it came out really good, all things considered. I do want to change some stuff, but we'll talk about that later. Let's go around to the other side. We can see some of the work on that side. So over here, I'll really quickly show you how tight he got that door bar to fit. It's good that it fits so tight. However, the downside of it is he had to kind of go to this part of the cage, which comes in, versus if he went down, it'd be over more, which with the stock door panel would be a pain because he'd have to kind of come around the armrest here. But if I go to a flat door panel, which is what I'm planning on doing, it would move this bar out a little bit and lower it down, which would make getting in and out easier. So over winter, we're going to change that out. But here you can see the Motion steering column with the Motion quick release and then the steering wheel extension. So it makes it really nice and easy to get in and out of the car because we could get most of that steering column out of the way. Again, wiring is just a nightmare, but cage fitment looks really good. I had to cut the stock bracing under the seat. I don't know if you'd really call it bracing or just how the stock seat mounts, but we had to cut it out to drop the seat down so I could get headroom. But he made all new mounts for the seats, or for this seat I should say. So that's the cage work. So now that the car is back, we could start getting into all the other stuff we need to do. Let's start showing you that. All right, we've all seen up here enough. One of the biggest things that needs to get done is I need to actually fabricate an exhaust. I'm still a little undecided. Probably what will happen, I have another fender. So when the car got hit and I had to buy the driver fender, I got both fenders at the same time. So I might change this fender out for the other one and do a low fender exit exhaust here. It would just make my life a lot easier. I don't know if I've ever shown this before, but you know, I got the main power wiring, the trans overflow is coming up over there. There's starters down there. There's a lot of stuff over there. So to try and get a 4-inch through there would be possible, but not easy. So gonna have to redo that. We always knew I was gonna have to do that. I'm gonna try and put the hood on today to see if the blow-off valve is in the way. I kind of think it might be, but we're gonna find out. I'm gonna make a proper mount for the expansion tank for the radiator, and then I'll actually plumb the overflow to the back of the car. I'll put an overflow back there. I'm gonna replace the alternator because it's a little bit wonky at times. I have the Motion Raceworks. I think I had the 3-inch pulley to put on it, so I'll do that. Bumper is going to go back on. I have aluminum panels for here and here to help direct the airflow through the radiator. I probably will put a lower shield on and might do the sides as well to try and just get as much air through the radiator as possible. I have a new main fan. This one I can't change because of how that radiator hose ended up, but this one I got some room, so I have a really big Spall fan. I don't remember what kind, but we'll talk about it when we get to it. Let's go to the back of the car and we'll look at what we got to do back there. The back here is a little bit of a mess, but you can see the roll cage comes down, ties into the frame rails back here. Got some garbage back here. I gotta install that harness, obviously. The main thing that we gotta do back here is these, not all of them, but a lot of them leak. So I'm going to change out this whole configuration. I haven't 100% decided how I'm doing it or what I'm doing yet, but it's all going to get changed out. It'll probably be a close fitting to put this valve over here more. So it'll be like a female to female, and then it'll just be one hose to go down. But yeah, I'm really getting tired of that fuel leak. That won't go away. I have a little bit of wiring to clean up back here. If you guys don't know, I have a MSD solid state relay box here that controls the fuel pump. It will control the air compressor, controls the trans cooler fan. I can't remember what else. I think that might be all, but I need to wire that up a little bit better. Need to wire the compressor to be either on a switch or pressure activated. I haven't decided which yet. And that's about it back here. And then there's stuff under the car. I'm not going to have the car up on the lift today, so I won't be able to show you, but underneath the car I'm adding a flex fuel sensor. I have some plumbing to do to fix up, and then just maintenance. So let's set you guys up and get to it. Okay, we did a few different time lapses. Let me kind of go over what we did. So I ended up removing the radiator completely. There's a couple reasons for that. I'll go over them in a bit. What you guys didn't see, because I had to move the camera out of the way, was we test fit the hood, and it seems to fit. So there was always some worry about the blow valve hitting, and less of a worry, but still a worry, was the fuel pressure sensor. But it seems like both of those cleared no problem. I'll probably put the hood back on again without the radiator in here, so I could see kind of through here. With the radiator in place, you couldn't see in at all. So I'll probably try that again just because. We got the exhaust off, obviously, so we could get the downpipe on. I started to look at what to do for exhaust. It's very up in the air still. 3-inch would fit a lot easier, but I really want to do 4-inch if I can. All this wiring is kind of the biggest issue. I'm going to redo all of it and move it, but I probably won't do that till after drag week. So we'll have to figure something out there. But up here, it's probably as far torn down as I'm going to have to go for now. I think most of everything else is putting stuff back together or fabricating. You can see here we took out pretty much the entire dash harness. There is still a little bit left. Let's kind of look inside the car real quick. So it's still got a lot of stuff in here to my taste, but it's much better than it was. We got rid of the, up here, we got rid of the airbag ECU or airbag computer. We got rid of basically the entire harness. There's still some harness over here and some dangling down over there. I don't know how much more I'm going to end up taking out. Some of that stuff I need. Actually, some of what I took out I probably need as well, to be honest. But I want to get it out of the way, and then I can kind of chase back the stuff I know and work from there. All this wiring that's left is mostly Holley. Some triggers, some inputs and stuff. That'll all get cleaned up. Whatever the hell this wire is that's hanging down here, that'll get ripped out of the car. I don't even know what it is. It's not an antenna, because antenna is on the other side and not on the roof, but who knows. And then the last thing you guys saw was the radiator. I pulled the fans off. I started to swap this fan out. You can see it is much beefier than the other fan. This is the fan I took off. I'll probably keep it as a spare. The other thing you'll see is that this is bigger. I thought these were 12-inch fans. I'm pretty sure I ordered a 12. Looks like it's a little bit bigger, so I'll have to cut that open and figure out some mounting, but I'll do that next time.